It all started on my first day. I was so excited for my dream job, but that feeling didn't last long. My boss, let's call him Mr. Smith, seemed charming at first. He was the kind of guy everyone looked up to, the charismatic leader who built his department from the ground up. But behind closed doors, he was a nightmare. It began with small things, a condescending comment here, a public put-down there. I told myself I was being too sensitive, that this was just how the corporate world worked. But then it got worse. He'd forget to invite me to crucial meetings, then blame me for not being informed. He'd change project deadlines at the last minute and act shocked when I could undeliver the impossible. I'd stay late, work weekends, and pour my heart into my projects, only to have him present my work as his own during big presentations. If I ever dared to speak up, he'd dismiss me with a wave of his hand, saying I was too emotional or not cut out for this level of pressure. The gaslighting was constant. He'd deny things he said just minutes before, making me question my own sanity. My colleagues saw it, but they were too scared to say anything. He had a reputation for getting rid of anyone who crossed him. I started having panic attacks on my way to work. My confidence was shattered. I felt trapped, isolated, and completely powerless. The job I once loved had become a source of daily dread. One evening, after he screamed at me in front of the entire team for a mistake he had made, I just broke. I went home and cried for hours. I was on the verge of quitting, of just giving up. But then, a different feeling started to bubble up through the despair. Anger. Pure, cold anger. I wasn't going to let him break me. I wasn't going to let him win. I decided right then and there that if I was going down, I was taking him with me. That night, I made a plan. I wasn't going to be a victim anymore. I was going to fight back. The next day, I walked into the office a different person. I bought a tiny, discreet voice recorder. I started documenting everything. Every threat, every insult, every lie. I saved every email where he contradicted himself or took credit for my work. I started forwarding crucial project emails to my personal address as a backup. I became a meticulous archivist of his abuse. It was exhausting, living a double life. I had to pretend to be the same timid employee while secretly building a fortress of evidence against him. There were days I almost gave up, days his taunts cut so deep I wanted to scream. But then I'd listen to the recordings, read the emails, and the fire inside me would roar back to life. After 3 long months, I had it all. The final piece of the puzzle was a recorded phone call where he explicitly threatened to fire me and make sure I never worked in this industry again if I didn't take the fall for a massive budget error he had made. He was practically bragging about how he'd crush me. That was it. That was the smoking gun. The next morning, I didn't go to my desk. I went straight to HR. I calmly laid out my case, presented the emails, the documents, and played them the most damning audio clips. The HR manager's face went from professional skepticism to pale shock. They tried to keep it quiet, of course. They launched an internal investigation, but the story was too big, the evidence too overwhelming. Words started to leak. People I thought were his loyal followers started coming to me privately, sharing their own horror stories. It turned out I wasn't his only victim. I was just the first one to fight back with proof. The fallout was spectacular. He was suspended, then fired. The company had to issue a public statement. His carefully crafted empire, built on fear and intimidation, crumbled in a matter of days. Seeing him escorted out of the building, carrying a cardboard box with his belongings, was a moment I'll never forget. It wasn't about revenge. It was about justice. It was about taking my power back. I want to share this because no one should ever have to endure that kind of environment. If you're going through something similar, know that you are not alone and you are not powerless. Document everything. Seek help. Your voice matters. Thank you for listening to my story. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.